We are on the record.
Good morning, everyone. This is Tuesday, the 11th of March, 2025. We're going to bring to order the Park County Commissioners Board of Commissioners meeting. That's redundant. Here at 11 o'clock. Would you please, if you're so inclined, join us in the invocation and the pledge. All right. Welcome, everybody. Dave Wissel, Chairman. I just wanted to notify everybody that last week's meeting, we did not get the recording on the record. I just wanted to make that announcement. Our clerk was doing some training for a new hire, and we wanted to help them do the training, and so inadvertently was a mistake, human error, that we didn't get the recording, so it was our error. I just wanted to make that noticed at the beginning of this meeting. Whenever you're ready.
We are on the record.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate it. I will call to order this March 4th, 2025 meeting of the Park County Board of County Commissioners to order. And if you're so inclined, we would like to have you stand and join us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, our higher power, our guiding light, we give you all the glory for all that is good in Park County, in Colorado, in our nation, and in the world. We thank you for the hint of spring we received late last week, and now for the revisit of winter. We just pray that we get great moisture this spring in moderate quantities frequently, so we do not overwhelm Road and Bridges budget on plowing. We can ask. We just lift up all in the county who are struggling with health and any other issues. We just ask that you hear their requests for prayer and assistance, and we pray and ask all this in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I want to welcome all of you out on Zoom land, and thank you, Commissioner Mitchell, for the invocation and leading us in the pledge. For the record, we have Commissioner Gimmer, Commissioner Mitchell, Commissioner Wissel. We have our clerk staff with us. We have a new person that we got to meet. We welcome you. And we have Lucas Meyer, our new county manager. With that, we have and Aaron Smith is on. I apologize, madam. I don't see you on my screen, so I didn't see you. And with that, we will have before you a proposed agenda that we may need to make some amendments on.
I move that we amend the agenda and remove item 1 under consideration and or decision to approve or deny the agreement for professional services between Choleta and Board County Commissioners for the hazard mitigation plan. We're not quite ready to review and finalize that.
Very good, ma'am. Any others?
I'll second that.
Okay. With those corrections, we'll call the question on the agenda as amended. All those in favor vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Okay, for that, we have the chair to the right page. We have a consent items on our agenda approval for the approval of minutes and approval of vouchers. Entertain a motion to set.
I move that we approve the consent items, both the minutes and the vouchers.
That's proper motion. Is there a second?
Second that.
Proper second. Any further discussion? I will tell you, we have several different, since we missed last week, we have several different weeks of bills that we've done. Nothing so extraordinary as to give you great concern, but we are doing 3 weeks basically of bills, 2 weeks of bills, excuse me, in this particular meeting. So with that, we'll call the question. Those in favor vote by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We're going to skip consideration 1. Consideration 2, approve or deny a grant application and letter of support for the South Park Rail Society to purchase the historic Como Roundhouse from private owners. And we have on our tourism board an additional 3. Those are Bill Bruner, Charles McConnell, and Stephanie Cantu. And we've interviewed all of these. Mr. McConnell is with us, I believe. in the audience. And we have 3 others, and then we were provided a volunteer potentially of one of the town staff that deals with promotions and events, which we think would be a really great ancillary member and give us an odd number. But with that, I'll stop and let you guys talk about this.
Yeah, this is a result of our short-term rental, 2% short-term rental tax, where 10% of that 2% we collect is utilized by this tourism board to enhance the visitor's experience. And boy, that's a broad statement, and we are grateful for these additional 3 to want to step up and participate in brainstorming how best we can use this for across the county to benefit visitors, helping them understand where businesses are, where they can get a cup of coffee or a tchotchke or a t-shirt or a meal or whatever else. So thank you, Bill, Charles, and Stephanie for stepping up.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you very much for being a part of this and really wanting to help out the tourism in Park County. I believe that looking into this, sounds like we may have one other person that may be interested in the future here coming up, which would make a board of 7. And I believe that would be a awesome way to go for a tourism board. Has a tiebreaker, be a great way for us to move forward. So thank you.
Thank you, commissioners. And just for a note, in our work session, we had comments from our public affairs people, and they are chomping at the bit to get our tourism board up and running. And so in the very near future, we will be reaching out to the 6 members that we've appointed in total now, and then we'll continue to work on that, but get you guys motivated, get you lined up, get some ideas from you, and get organized. And from that, we again thank you. So with that, do we have a motion on the floor?
I move that we approve these next 3, Bill, Charles, and Stephanie, to the current board of 3.
Okay, the proper motions are second.
Second it.
Call the question. Those in favor vote by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Housing Advisory Board. We had a discussion about this. What we'd like to do is, I see Andy in the room, and I want to thank you, Andy, for stepping up and helping us with that. But what we had kind of talked about was putting together these 11 people and having a sit-down work session with them and really look at it. One of the things we've discovered since our work session is that we have some resolutions where we have created a housing advisory board, and we may have been thinking it, at least I'll speak for myself, in the fact of the 1, 2, 3 board. But we created a housing advisory board that I think would require us to do a little more research and study on. And so with that, I would say that we would defer making formal announcements, but we may have a different vehicle than thinking about the 1, 2, 3 money, but do the original resolution. There's 2 of them that created a housing advisory board for more than just that purpose. Is we have expressed concerns about the ability of Park County to be able to participate successfully with the Prop 1, 2, 3 money. So if there's no objection, we'll just pass on that item.
I move that we table the Housing Advisory Board, any decision making along about that to a uncertain future date.
Proper motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A proper motion and second. This is just so that we can reevaluate these resolutions that Commissioner Mitchell found for us to look at, and we will hopefully schedule this for next week. I don't think it would be an issue for next week, or should be an issue for next week. Okay, with that, we'll call the question. Those in favor vote by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay, Berlin Equestrian Board. We have reappointment of Bonnie Jolly, which I recognize of being a prior member, as well as Janelle Prieto, 3-0.
May I, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank them for their willingness to volunteer and step up. We are grateful that the area of Berlin is a gem and it gets used well. And we are grateful for your volunteerism to help make it a great place for equestrian enthusiasts to use. So thank you very much.
I did know that.
Okay, proper. very much. We appreciate that very much, all of our volunteers. Okay, item 4, approve, deny 3 contracts from the assessor's office previously held back by review of commissioners. I'll put it on the floor, let you guys have some discussion. There's our assessor. Basically, I'll go ahead and lead it. There's really no question that the professional services rendered by these 3 different contractors, I'm a little unclear on the Just Appraised contract, but frankly, they have been providing the values for our assessor's office as they stayed under the last 6 years. And I think there are certainly issues there, and there's certainly concerns that I have expressed from 23 forward, and I've documented those. But I really think that in order for us to have a tax roll, that we're going to have to approve this expenditure. The issue I have with it is when you look at the totality of the budget, and that's what first got my attention to these, was if you look at 23 versus 25 projected versus actual, we are increasing the appropriations of the assessor's office by over 29, almost 30%. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and I'm not sure we understand them. But I will make those comments that I think that's probably the right thing as the board to do. We had questions, we had those questions resolved. I would like to see if those contracts are extended, that the conditions that I had as far as the executive summaries and the searchable databases and those kinds of things are included as a part of that, because I think that's giving our assessor the tools that she needs to be successfully reporting to the people and the taxpayers the true information. And I think there's some improvement that can be done on that, and we're willing to help and assist. But on the other hand, we don't have any other department that got a 29% increase in the O3 fund that I can see, and it is of great concern. So with that, I'll open it up to my fellow members.
So what I'd like to do first of all is go through the motion and approve those 3 contracts. So I move that we approve those 3 contracts, and we can go into discussion after.
That's a proper motion.
Second.
A discussion.
Yeah, you know, it's easy when the budget is a little more flush. It's really challenging in years where we are trying to maintain a reserve that is lower than we would like for uncertain future. And so we are diligently reviewing the budget frequently to make sure that we are in line and that we are not going to get sideways anywhere. And, you know, I think that in appraisal year, it's critical that our assessor has the resources that she currently has and that we approve this. But we'll be, you know, budget season, it's sad to say, is not far away. We usually start in August with packets and then start with conversations. So we will revisit all of this again in the future with where we are for our 2026 budget and how we fare this year with the belt tightening controls we have in place.
And to mimic that, I believe that we need to look into contracts in multiple fields as well as we have been, and really assess the value versus the cost and make sure that it's at the best interest of the county in all formats. And that's going to be, in my opinion, moving forward year to year budget wise.
Okay. Any further discussion? Call the question. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
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 Pose same sign. You have your contracts now. Yes, you may.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for approving those. But I do want to make a statement as to the budget. My contract budget is actually less this year than what it was last year. The impact on my budget is payroll, I think, was $10,000 impact, extra from what was budgeted the previous year. And the major impact is $120,000 for health insurance. So I have no control over that. I cannot predict that that is actually accurate. we can't predict that until the end of the year when we find out what everybody's health insurance does cost. And so I do not believe that my budget is actually to that percentage over, and I don't believe it will be at any at the end of this year. So just want to make myself clear that contracts did go down.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, we have next on our agenda, approve or deny an intergovernmental agreement, IGA, between the state of Colorado and Park County with the purpose of the placement of technical parole violators in CDC custody into the Park County Jail.
Make sure that we achieve in that jail. And I believe that's already on budget. So I believe that is something we have discussed. So I don't believe that's going to be any effect in that manner. I mean, I want people to know that in my understanding, what we're looking at is parole violators that may have not completed their community service. It's pretty simplistic, not too many violent offenders. This should be a pretty win-win situation for Park County.
Right. And my comment is we have a staff for the jail that we have to have. And if we can maximize the staff to the ratio of increased people in the jail that would deliver some revenue, why not? Because we have to staff the jail no matter what. And so this is just an opportunity that comes to us. I think if they're on parole, they're probably not a big risk to society, but they are being monitored. And the sheriff did tell us that if somebody was a violent offender, that we would probably not accept them, and we can accept or not depending on what our current capacity is in the jail. So I think it's an absolutely great for Park County and good for us to help Department of Corrections in Colorado.
Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell, for filling in those blanks, because it really is up to the discretion of our capacity as well as the type of person. We have the ability to reject a particular class of individual in this particular contract if it isn't suitable to our availability or needs. So with that, we'll call the question. Those in favor, vote by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. That motion carries 3-0. Okay, for now, we have public comment. Anybody in the room would like to come and comment to us, or in the Zoom land, please come up to the podium. All we ask you to do is sign in your name, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
All right, I applied for a variance back in October, and Amy, it's me,
Can we have your name?
Josh Dow.
Thank you, Josh.
Josh, what's that again?
What's that?
What was your last name?
Dow, D-O-W-E-L.
Thank you, sir.
So in October, I applied for a variance. November or in mid-December, somebody came out to my house, tried to do everything they possibly could to talk me out of following through with the variance. They told me we do not have a board of adjustments in Park County, and I got at least a year to wait. I spoke to Amy maybe 2 weeks ago or so. Still haven't really heard anything back. Not really sure how we don't know if we have a board of adjustments.
We normally don't enter into dialogue at public comment, but we can get a hold of you outside of that. We are currently in the process of hiring a director of development services. We need a head to the body, and that will give us some more continuity to be able to help get some of these things moved in a more prompt manner. So Josh, we do. Planning Commission does duplicate.
That's fair.
Yes, but it goes through our planning department. So we will get a hold of you and get some additional information, and we will let you know when that can be put through.
Well, Title 31 says it's Board of Adjusters, not the planning department, and it's a requirement for the county.
I think this is probably something we need to have a conversation on, not to deny you the ability to speak, but this is a technical process in a variance, and we need to probably have some more information that wouldn't behoove us in this public setting. But I appreciate it, but I don't know that we can answer you in those questions right now.
We do.
I can verify this, if I may, madam. We do have a Board of Adjustment. We do have that process that is statutory. You are correct, but I think we need to step back and see what the details are, if that makes any sense.
Josh, I'm not gonna have you put your phone number out on the whole world, but if you want to step up here and give me your phone number, then I'll start working with you and understand everything that's going on, and then be the liaison between everything and make sure that we start getting communication going.
Thank you for that. We just don't want to broadcast your information all over the world. Any other comments?
Anyone else in the room, come up to the podium, sign
What we do
in.
is ask you to sign in. Give us your name and information so that we know who you are, and welcome.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Rich Edelman. I'm a fairly new homeowner here in the Valley of the Sun area. I currently live in the Elkhorn, and I'm going to be moving over here. I'm right off of Lakeside on Pond Drive, and Pond Drive is not plowed. I've spoken to, actually this morning, to Road and Bridge. They're actually the ones who told me to come over and speak to you guys in reference to they do not plow Pond currently. They're saying that they don't have, and they're not adding at this particular time any more roads onto their list. There are 3 homes on Pond Drive, and I am that third one now that I'm going to be living there full time. I'm looking to see what we can do to get that added on. My neighbor he and his wife are in their 80s, and I think it's something that we, need to look at. So just wanted to come over and throw that out there and see what I can do to possibly get that added on. I mean, it is a safety concern for them as well.
We appreciate that. We will speak after.
Okay.
Thank you. If you'll hang around, we'll get some information from you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom? I don't see anyone, Madam Commissioner Mitchell.
I move we close public comment.
Proper motions are
Second it.
second. Call the question. Those in favor vote by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. All right. I think we are motion for adjournment
Move we adjourn.
at
Second that.
11:27. Second.
Second it.
Call the question. Those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Teresa? She left.
We have no administrative.
Sir, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I got a few questions for you. You were looking at it on the house.